welcome to One, the show where I interview some of the biggest names, or the names that I think would be the biggest names in UK music going forward. On today's show, we have the sensei of storytelling, Mr. Rap Millionaire, Dotty.
How you doing?
Thanks for coming down, man.
Yeah, of course, man. Thank you for having me, man.
To get started, man, we'll go straight into your black box.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of people don't really go to that.
For me, like, that's where I first heard you.
Yeah.
And like, so I heard that and I was like, raw. Like, I'm not even in I don't watch all the black boxes, but that one, I don't know, it came up on my feed. I was like, let me give it a listen, and bruv, you spazzed out, and that was
that's probably for me. That's probably like my most, I would say, thing that I've done that I've had to think about the most. I would think, yeah.
Like, so even just in terms of writing it, like, what was that like? Did you know you was writing it for Black Box?
No, not even. No, do you know what? I knew I was writing it for. I knew I wanted to do a Black Box in it, so it was before I spoke to Lotes or anything over there. I just said, yeah, I know I'm gonna want to do one. I think it was the last time I went. It was when Bonkers done his one. Okay. So then I thought, alright, cool. I might as well do one. I thought, let me just start patterning up the lyrics and that. But that was more like. It wasn't like I had just done it one time. It was like I had to come back to it.
Right.
Because it's kind of, for me, it's kind of deep as well. Yeah. So I need to think about exactly what I'm trying to talk about and make sure that it's depicted the right way, you understand? So,
So how long roughly would you say it took?
Oh, no, it probably took, in total, it probably would have taken about, say, 2 hours in total over the space of probably like a week.
Okay.
For instance, yeah.
So obviously, like I said, you spoke a lot of like about your life, about what you've been through and stuff. Like, so what was life growing up for you? You're from Croydon, like.
I'm from Thornton, Croydon, but it was normal. I can't, you know, like everyone kind of grows up the same in a sense. Yeah. Like, obviously, grew up with my friends. Like, one good thing that I had a lot of close friends in it, and I've still got them to this day in it. So I feel like I grew up cool, but. I don't want to say bad. I don't want to say I grew up in a bad state because at the same time, majority of people in London, we grew up like the same anyway. But it was just, but like, my mumsy, really, and then the man them really, just out and about. Obviously, mum done what she could and then, to learn what I learnt from mum, learnt what I learnt from the road. You get me?
That's the thing, like, I think, obviously, it being mad modest now, but like, even just, like, I guess we talk about it because you spoke about it on the track, but it's like, you talk about, like, like your dad weren't around.
Yeah.
And then like mum was ill and stuff. It's like, but what's that like for him? Because like that's
to be honest, the mum thing, that's the only thing where I think like some kind of difference to other people. Because obviously not everyone's mum, they don't grow up with their mum being ill and my mum's got meningitis, sickle cell in it. So I think it was better though because I was young when it happened. So it happened when I was like 5. So I had however many years, I've had like 22 years to kind of get used to it, you get me? So obviously over time it got a bit easier. But with Pups not being there, that's just a normal thing for people in this society that we live in. But at the same time, it's mad because my mum was telling me the other day, I think she said that he was there back and forth up until I was about 7 maybe, kind of. But I thought he wasn't there at all, but my mum told me that he was there, like, obviously, he might be there 1 year. Next 2 years, he might not be there. Then he might come back around.
You've got more memories without him.
Exactly. Yeah.
So obviously, you talk about growing up with like your friends and stuff. Some of your friends are like big names in the scene.
Yeah, of course.
So what's it like seeing like the likes of like A2 and like Bonkers and all them man doing?
Do you know what? To be honest, them man there like the inspiration for my thing as well at the same time. I got different people that inspire me in different ways, but when it comes to like musically, I know it because I'll listen to their music and it's almost like I wanna stop listening so I can go and make my tune now, innit? Because I think, I'm gassed, I got it in my head. Let me go and make something. So the inspiration from them like is mad. But obviously when we was younger, I would say it was more, say, Bonks. I was around Bonks more when I was younger. And the way he makes lyrics is crazy. Like, his mind works. I don't know how his mind works. I'm still trying to figure it out, but it's mad. And then A2, with the difference between them two, it's like Bonks is like, with his lyrics, it's so fluent and it's so dope at the same time. But then you see A2, his thing is he's gonna take his time, and then what he's gonna make from this is he's gonna sit down in a seat like this with the mic like this, and what he's gonna make from everything, the beat, everything, it's crazy. It's mad. So it's like different kind of inspirations from the both of them, really.
So what about you? How do you work then? Like,
my thing is more like I need to hear the beat. It depends. If I'm doing my thought-provoking stuff, then it's more I could just be in my yard by myself, or more time. Obviously, it's not good to smoke, but obviously more time when I'm smoking. If I'm on the balcony or something, that's where I feel like I get a lot of inspiration. Right. Or if I'm in my car, a lot of the time that's when I write a lot more. Yeah. Or if I'm in the studio, I need to hear like the first kind of 10 seconds of the beat, and then I'll know, I can tap this one, I can do this one.
Okay.
This is the real world where love don't last long. You might not get a chance to right your last wrong. Emotions switch up, feeling different from my last song. I'm in a good place right now, I hope it lasts long. I ain't shallow as the women that I passed on. I had a deep conversation with the last one. I told her makeup that don't cover insecurities. That's in your mind or in your heart or passed down through your genes. So you're imperfect, cause your back ain't big as hers is. She's Instagram fine, but she can't tell you about what work is. You got direction, you got purpose. Yes, girl, don't be nervous, you ain't worthless. You hold it all in, it'll be worse when it surface. You shouldn't lock yourself away. Girl, don't close your curtains. You might not always see them, but they're lurking. Fake friends always wanna put you down, watch them serpents. Yeah.
So yeah, obviously the first, like, I guess, I don't know. You told me, I guess the first project is like, that I heard you anyway, was the New Gen.
Yeah.
Like your first, like...
Yeah, it was, Yeah, it was. Before that, I wasn't doing music like that. I wasn't taking it seriously anyway. It was more of a thing where I'm around people that do music. I used to do music back in the day, but obviously, life takes control sometimes, so come away from the music. But, with the New Gen project, that was, like, definitely the first time. After that, I knew I need to carry on doing what I'm doing now.
So how was you involved with that?
Like I said, obviously, New Gen, cause that was like Bonks, Hacker and Renz, they made that in it. So when I was around them lot guys' studio, I would just be there normally. Like I think when Bonks and Renz was making NBA, when he was making NBA, I was around there quite a bit in the studio because they had a studio in Croydon that they used to go to. So I used to go there and with Hacker as well. And from there, I'd just be around the man a minute more time. So then I think Bonks was doing it. He had a session with OG Mako one time. He was just in the studio. And then after the session, me and Bonks was just going back to back, basically. And then, from there, it was like, we need you on the project, innit? I wasn't supposed to be on it.
Right.
Ended up there, innit?
Life happens,
Exactly.
So, like, what would you say you've learned from between that project to now your own projects just come out? Like, what would you say the biggest lesson?
I've learned a lot, man, because really and truly with that project, I only had to go in there and do a tune. So that was normal for me. Right. I can go somewhere and just spit a bar in it, you get me? Yeah. But doing my own project, it's a lot different because at the same time, I need to learn to work with other people. Me, I'm a person where I don't know how everybody works in it, so I'm a bit like, I prefer to be around the people that I'm around in it because I know the man, I know how they move, I know that already, you get me? So I prefer to be around them more when I'm doing what I'm doing, but this time around, it's like I'm around new people, meeting new producers and things like that, and having to kind of understand different producers because I was doing a collection of sounds as well. Right. So it's like I'm trying to attack it with different sounds. So where people would have just thought that I'm just on my thought-provoking stuff, I needed to basically kind of adapt myself to be able to make the other sounds as well that I know that I want to make. You get me? So it was hard, but at the same time it was hard, but it was easy because I knew the direction that I was going, and then obviously the team, me and the London Living team, we already knew what we was trying to do with this project. So in that sense, it was easy, but then it was hard at the same time with just everything, making sure that everything's together. And
so how would you when did you decide that you wanted to make a project? Do you know what I mean? Because obviously, like you say, like you can do the football work and stuff, but when did you decide, you know what, I want to make like a body of work?
Do you know what? It's crazy because the project thing, I think we were supposed to I was going to do an EP at first. So that was probably going to be like between 4 and 7 tracks. But then it's like, after a while, it's like I'm taking my time to make these songs. I've made the songs now. I've got 4 or 5 tracks or whatever. But then I feel like, I need to give them more, innit? Because when I dropped when Thoughts come out, that was in January 2017. And then I done a couple freestyles after that. But then I didn't want to just give the people a 4-track EP or 7-track EP, even that. I feel like I needed to give them something more so that, at the same time, so you can understand me as well. Yeah. And because I know I've been away for a little while, so let me give you this thing here, innit? You get me in full effect.
So what made you decide then that you wanted it to be like a collection of sounds? Like, because like you say, for me, like what drew me to you was the freestyles.
Yeah.
So obviously when I heard like, and even to be honest with you, like when I heard like the singles, like Beautiful, I didn't really like it. I was like, this isn't what I want to hear from Dotty.
Exactly.
But then when I heard those same singles in the body of work, like the whole thing, I was like, right, like it makes sense now. Do you know what I mean?
Makes sense.
So it's like, so what made you decide? Right, I want to make like a collection of different sounds and different show different sides of.
It's because I'm not trying to be locked in. Not to say that I don't want to stick to my craft, but I know what I do best. But at the same time, I don't want to be locked into a box where if I do attempt to, like later on in life, attempt to make another kind of sound, and then people think I'm changing up my sound, then that's not the case. I've let you know from the jump, London Living collection of sounds, I let you know from the jump, this is what I do. You might hear this sound, 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 and it's only going to get better and better, innit? You get me? So from now, it's almost like I've set my place in it to say, yeah, this is what I do. So whatever you hear, expect it, innit?
So London Living, like, explain, what is that?
London Living, that's like the man them, innit? That's the man them, that's literally what it is, just the man them, but we're like a collective. But to be fair, I shouldn't even say that's just what it is, because it's a record label now, innit? Okay. So the main part of London Living is just basically to push the record label, to push the clothing, make sure that it's not just me that's gonna succeed or benefit from everything that's going on in it. So it's like all my music, you'll always hear me talking about London Living, because at the end of the day, if it wasn't for the man them as well, certain experiences that I've got, certain things that they wouldn't have existed in it. So I've got to make sure that, and at the same time, you need to make people know who your people them are.
Right,
I hate when I see people come in the industry and they're not making people know these are the people that, as to why you're doing this now, innit? You get me? So I just try and make sure that I big them up as much as possible. You get me?
What's it? LDN X LVN?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. LDN X LVN. Yeah, that's big.
I'm trying to cram so much shit into my 24. I seen black boys making moves and now Bashy's in 24. Now I need a mic, back then I needed 28 grams times 9 on both sides. Needed nitties, now I need fans. I wrote this on the track on the way to Mummy Mo's. It's crazy how I call her mummy and still shot her stones. But she ain't my mum though, but I don't justify the situation. She's someone's mum, but I really need to make my papers. I don't shot green no more, but when I did I sold acres. I can still get that dirt cheap, I'm owed a hella favours. I done sold almost every drug, I've gone through hella phases. Switched up my cars like trainers, I had some jealous neighbours. I was 19 in the car, worth more than all their savings.
So like in terms of like Bonkers and A2, man, like the guys that you grew up with, like, or even have you, in fact, before we even get into that, like, have you got any artists that you are on the label other than you already, or are you still?
No. There's another artist, my brother Charlie Rose. He's on the first track on Gone with the Wind. Yeah, him. Apart from him, there's no one that's actually on the London Living label. But him as well, he's got a whole heap of things. He just needs to release it, really and truly. You get me? But yeah, man, we're just pushing, man. We soon come.
So with the other artists, like I just mentioned that you grew up with, like, have you guys ever thought of like making a project together, or like?
Do you know what's nuts? Someone said something on Twitter recently about me and Bonks making a project, and then obviously we spoke behind the scenes, innit? But it was like, yeah, we would, but do you know? It's almost like because of the fact that we're so close. When I link Bonks or I link Two, it's only recently I'll link Two and I'll go to the studio. Other than that, we link them with, we're talking about normal life, innit? You get me? It's not just about the music, innit? But that definitely should be in the pipeline somewhere. If it's not like a full project, but you might get like an EP or something.
Cool. So like, and with you as well, I guess obviously you don't want to be like put in a box. But I guess you could put what you do in rap in it. Like,
of course.
Say even more like leaning towards hip hop rather than like UK rap.
That's exactly what it is.
So like growing up, like who did you like listen to? Who was like your inspiration music?
I used to listen to Holy. That's why it's a collection of sounds as well. I used to listen to from say the Jay-Z, the Biggie, Pac, to I would go over to like Genuine and flipping Latif and people like that. You get me? It's great. I was all over the place kind of with my music, but yeah, people like Jay-Z. When I was young, England anyway, I used to listen to a lot of Dizzy. People say I sound like Dizzy certain times as
Really?
well. Yeah, I've heard it a couple times as well, actually. But yeah, I used to listen to him a lot when I was young. Like my first kind of entrance into grime kind of thing. Him and Wiley. But yeah, mainly it was just like, you know, like rappers like Jay-Z, Biggie, Pac.
So what made you kind of lean towards the rap side? Like you said, you listen to like all these different people, and like even you listen to like Dizzy and stuff and grime, and like what made you decide, you know what, when I do my thing, like I want to do rap? Like,
I think it was like when I was about 16, I used to do grime. I was doing grime more, but then I stopped completely. But then when I started dabbling back in it again, when I was probably about 19, 20-ish, around them time there, for me, not that I was thinking that grime was young, but I felt like I'd evolved from that at the time, innit? You get me? Now grime's one of the biggest things, but I'd felt like at the time that I'd evolved from that. So then it was more like I wanted to rap, and I felt, because sometimes the way I speak or the way I rap is I try and get as much out as possible. If I'm doing grime, I can't be doing that speaking so fast. And I need people to hear what I'm saying, innit?
Yeah,
so,
Clapton Cohen said that as well.
Yeah.
They were saying that. That's
what it is.
Yeah.
So it's like I just got to a point where the rapping felt more honest for me as well, innit? I felt like I could, this is more of my vent at the same time. So yeah, that's when I was like 18, 19, 20. That's when I was probably doing rap and that,
So how was the response been for the project?
You know, it's been good, you know, because really and truly, like, we're independent. We ain't really got no push or nothing like that, but it's definitely been good. Everyone, I haven't heard a negative thing from it yet, but then at the same time, not to say that, everyone's going to love it, you get me? Because it's not for everybody at the same time, but it's for the people that mess with me properly, you get me? So the people that are listening to it, they're rating it differently. So I'm happy, man.
So I guess it kind of, for you, I guess, vindicates like you doing what
of course. And it's a thing as well for me where it makes me know that I need to keep doing it as well, you get me? Because for me, if I'd done this and I felt like it wasn't getting reciprocated properly, I'm a person where I might think, you know, maybe we need to try next avenue, you get me? We need to be successful in life in some way. If it's not going to be this, it's going to be something else. But obviously, right now, I feel this is what I need to be doing. Everybody around me telling me this is what I need to be doing, so this is what I'm doing.
So, like, what else have you got? Have you got any more videos coming from it?
Yeah, we got videos coming from the projects. There's no specific ones on that I can say right now, but there's definitely, there is specifics. But yeah, so we got probably, for me, I think like Berry's Roller Coaster Love. I think those would be very, very dope with videos. Just for the weekend as well.
Yeah, just for the weekend.
Yeah.
Are those your personal favourites anyway, or just those ones you can just see videos for?
My personal favourite at the moment is probably Fruits.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Fruits a lot. It was Escape before. It goes through all of them, really and truly. Yeah, it depends on my mood as well. And it's sunny right now, it might be berries, innit? I might go outside and run berries, innit?
Yeah.
So, but, you got to change up, innit?
So what have you got planned for, like, just the rest of the year in general?
Yeah, rest of the year, I want to drop another project, but I got an idea that I want to do with the different sounds that I put on the project. So throughout the year, that'll start coming into play more, innit? But I want to definitely make people, if you feel that vibe, you're going to get something with just that vibe. Okay. If you feel this vibe, you're going to get something with just this vibe.
So more like streamlining it.
Yeah, okay. You get me? And then see what happens from there, really. But yeah, just videos, another project. Definitely work. We're working on the next project now. As soon as we finish, before we finish, we was working on the next one anyway, really. So
I was busy. Got
to be busy.
Thank you for coming through.
Of course, man. Come on, thank you for having me, bro, man. Definitely.